Hello and welcome. In this video, I am going to be talking about handbags from two brands, British brand J&M Davidson and American Uruguayan brand Gabriela Hearst. I'm Anesu Sagonda and I produce educational luxury content for anyone after the finer things, whether you're young and starting out in life and wanting to reap the benefits of buying better quality from the get-go, or you're into luxury but you want to focus more on high quality, under the radar brands, or you're new to money and wanting to learn how to navigate the terrain, then my content is geared towards you. Unati, this video is for you. I know we spoke a few months ago and you asked if I could talk about Gabriela Hearst handbags. I get a lot of requests to talk about handbags, but I need to be incredibly mindful of the fact that not everybody who watches my content is after handbag content, and I get a lot of requests for handbags. So I need to be balanced, I need to be mindful, and I hadn't forgotten your request. So thank you for your patience, Unati. I really appreciate it, and I wanted to create this video because you're always so kind and generous with your comments. Gabriela Hearst is a brand I personally really like. They describe themselves as honest luxury, which they truly are. They are focused on sustainability, and it's not something that they pay lip service to. They practice sustainability in absolutely every aspect of the business, from the incredibly high quality of the materials that they use, which they refer to as uncompromising noble materials, impeccable construction. The products are made incredibly well, they're made to last. When they build boutiques, the materials that are used, repurposed, recycled, for instance, their fashion shows, there's no plastic front or back of house, for example. I mean, this brand can do no wrong. And on top of that, it's a family-run business, originates in Uruguay. And apart from their business endeavors, which they do incredibly well, they're very mindful about everything they do and how they do it. But they're also involved in initiatives, a wide array of initiatives to help the disadvantaged. I mean, this brand is just exemplary. It's absolutely fantastic. And I first spoke about them in my Joseph video. And they are a fashion brand first and foremost. It's a family-run business based in Uruguay. And it's eponymously named after Gabriela Hearst, who's the front runner of the brand. She used to be at Cuoio as the creative director, and she's since left in the last few months. And I personally wasn't a big fan of Cuoio. I spoke about them in my Hierarchy of Handbags series, which I'm going to attach above. But Cuoio and Gabriela Hearst were two very different brands. They couldn't be any more different. And the one I followed and really liked is Gabriela Hearst. The construction of their clothes, the details, the care, the thought that goes into them is absolutely outstanding. It's just a wonderful brand. It's within premium core level of luxury when it comes to handbags. Their handbags are typically priced from about £2,000 and above. They use leathers, exotic skins, wool, satin, for example, depending on the season, depending on the collection. So a fairly wide array of materials, but they start from about £2,000 and above. And the focus is very much on quality, incredibly high quality. It's a fashion brand first and foremost. But what happens inevitably as you become more successful, you increase your range of products. And what they have done is very similar to what Le Mer have done, which is getting a very good company to produce your bags. BONASTRE produce Le Mer's award-winning bags. They're incredibly popular, best-selling bags. And Gabriela Hearst have done the same. They produce their own clothes, but when it comes to the handbags, they're made in Italy using Italian leather. They're designed by Gabriela, but the company they use is upholding their standards. It's so important to get a company that is on par with you when it comes to your standards. They are delivering clothes at a very high level, and the accessories are exactly the same, even though they're not made in-house. And I really like that. I applaud that. I absolutely admire that. But it absolutely pains me to say this will be the last time I talk about Gabriela Hearst on my channel. I'm doing this purely for Unati, and I was faced with a dilemma Do I cut my nose to spite my face? I've had an issue with the brand and therefore I won't talk about them. No, I'm going to talk about them. I really like the brand, but I won't talk about them again. And that's not to say I don't expect any of my viewers to buy from them. It's your money, your prerogative, but I have boundaries in place, and for my own sanity, there's certain behavior I just don't tolerate. They have a boutique in central London. It's on Brook Street, if I remember correctly. And I've been into their boutique a handful of times, a good handful of times. The first time I went in, the service was off, and I thought, everybody has a bad day. Went back a second, third time, fourth time, and the service was off every single time. And it was the same offending person. And I thought, you know what? With luxury at the top end, I have said and I will always say, it's not about high quality materials, impeccable craftsmanship, but it's also about the experience. The experience has to be delivered on a very high level as well, on the same level as the quality of the products. And when the level drops, then I'm out. And the service I have received from Gabriela Hearst has been mixed. Harrods, where they have a concession, it's mixed. Some of the staff know their products, some don't. I'm okay with that. But in the actual store, the service is just off, and it's the type of service I just don't tolerate. So I have boundaries in place. This will be the last time, and I feel bad, but it is what it is. Their handbags, they have a core selection of styles, what I call their mainstay. There are 4 styles. There's the Nina, there's the Demi, there is the Baez, there is the Diana. And then they have other styles that come in every season. They're for the runway collection, the runway shows. And once those bags are sold, they're sold. They don't repeat them again. But the mainstay, their core collections, they come in every season in different materials, for example. And then they also have a tote, which is seasonal. Sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. And I think it's also made to order, if I remember correctly. It comes in black, and it also comes in a tan color. And I really like this tote. I recently spoke about the best totes. Beginning part of the video, I'm going to attach it above. I was talking about aspirational brands and the totes they produced. And I ended with what is the ultimate tote from Joseph Duclos, which is absolutely exceptional. Particular tote, it's what I call a classic tote style. It's made by numerous brands, and what you'll find is brands will typically have on the inside either suede or fabric lining, for example, or the material they use may not be the very best quality, and they're very much trading on their brand equity, and they place a massive premium on the tote because they know consumers will buy it. But when it comes to the Gabriela Hearst tote, my goodness, this tote is beautiful. The leather is beautiful, it's sumptuous. It's leather lined on the inside, the outside. The edge coating is impeccably done throughout. I mean, it has been produced to an incredibly high standard. They have not scrimped on the details at all, which is what I expect from Gabriela Hearst. And it's priced at around £2,700, and I would pay that without any hesitation. It is worth every penny, and it's a tote that's giving much needed competition to the aspirational brands I mentioned in the best tote video. The 2 runway bags I mentioned earlier, when I took visuals a few months ago, there were 2 styles, the Bethania and there was also the Taylor. They have since been sold and they're not available anymore. You may find them on a website that sells Gabriela Hearst accessories, but they're not available in store. What they have in store right now is the 4 core styles that I'm going to talk about. The first style is the Nina. The Nina is it's a pouch style bag with a top handle, and it has a really interesting clasp on top. And you open the clasp, and then the bag is one big compartment in the middle. And it's made from an incredibly sumptuous leather. It's absolutely beautiful. It's soft. It's buttery to the touch. It's absolutely wonderful. I really like it. And then there's a smaller version of the bag called the Demi. As I was told, the bags are typically named after singers that Gabriela Hearst likes. So Nina after Nina Simone. And then the smaller version of the Nina is called the Demi. It's named after Demi Moore. And Demi Moore she's a customer of the brand. A number of years ago, she said, I really like the Nina, but it's too big as an evening bag. I'd like something smaller, a little more elegant, a little more poised for the evening. And they produced the smaller version specifically for Demi, hence it's called Demi. Exactly the same as the Nina, one big compartment in the middle with a really interesting ornate clasp on top. And then the third style is the Diana. Diana is an absolute showstopper, named after Diana Ross. And the bag is a showstopper like Diana herself. It's an elegant, poised bag. It's the type of bag wherever you go, people will notice it, people will comment. This is the first bag I ever noticed from Gabriela Hearst. When I saw this bag, I thought, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. And the craft that's gone into the bag, the details, the edge coating all around, they haven't scrimped, they've protected every single edge. And then the way the bag fans out, and then you have one big compartment in the middle. And then you have the hardware holding up the bag. Soft, buttery soft leather on the inside. And then you have the little top handle on top. Beautiful bag. And then the fourth is the Baez, named after Joan Baez, who's also another singer that Gabriela Hearst also likes. It's more of a cube-shaped bag, very similar, same sort of style to the Nina and the Demi, with the top handle on top and then the interesting clasp on top. And then you just open the bag and it's just one big solid compartment in the middle. The bags are beautifully made, whether it's the runway collection or their mainstay bags, they're beautifully made. The leathers that have been used, the finish, the details that have gone into the bag, they're absolutely stunning. And as I've said, they're not made by Gabriela Hearst, but they have used a very good company. They've contracted a very good company to produce their bags, and the company's upholding the standards of the brand that have been set incredibly highly by their clothes. So that's Gabriela Hearst bags. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you like the aesthetic? Are they too show-stopping? Let me know. What do you think? As always, thank you for watching my content, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon.